got a caller talking about what Florida could be here when it comes to playing. Spoiler. Take a listen.
JD, my man, my name's Philip. I'm from Franklin, Tennessee. I'm a huge Vols fan, but I hate to say it. I think the take that's grown on me the most over this offseason has to do with my least favorite team of all time, the Florida Gators. I'm looking at their schedule right now, and I see 7 different teams on there that I think are genuine playoff contenders. But while I'm not picking the Gators to make the playoffs this year, I'm picking them to knock at least 3 to 4 of those teams out of the playoffs throughout the season. Let me know if you think I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sold on it at this point. You got me on the Lagway hype train, so we'll see where it goes. But you have a good one, man. Love the show. Love what you're doing. Have a good one. Bye.
Franklin, Tennessee, stand the heck up. That's first off. Okay, what he says is really interesting. 3 to 4 college football playoff teams getting knocked out of the college football playoff race by the Florida Gators. For that to happen, I think Florida would have to have some mojo, all right, especially late in the season. We'll talk about that right now. Before we do that, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. If you haven't noticed, this is a voicemail special. Give us a call, 629-888-3931. Let your voice be heard. But if you want to make sure you don't miss anything we're doing on this show, The Hard Count, the People's College Football Show, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We appreciate y'all for being locked in. So when you look at Florida's schedule, they got to start September hot if this is the kind of world they want to live in. Because, again, got to have some mojo, right? We'll talk about what that was a year ago for Florida and why they were able to knock some teams out of college football playoff contention. But Florida plays Miami and LSU early on in the year. So I'm assuming if this ends up being a reality, you beat either one or both of those teams. That would accomplish both of the, I think, important ingredients to having the 3 to 4 teams knocked out of the college football playoff contention. Miami, I think they can make a case for being a college football playoff contender. Same deal for LSU. So if you knock both those teams out, that's 2 right there. You knock one of those teams out, great, that's 1 right there. But the point I'm trying to make here is Florida and what they have to do in October and November, I think you point to a lot of college football playoff contenders being on their schedule, and you beat those teams by having a little bit of what I just said, mojo, momentum, confidence, swag, whatever word you want to put to it, you got to have that in those spots. Because last year, it didn't have the W's next to the logo for Florida, but they had this when they beat LSU, when they beat Ole Miss. Go back in time with me. At Tennessee, late in the game, DJ Lagway is thrown into action, throws a touchdown to force overtime. Some mojo was established there. Didn't beat Tennessee, but there was, I think, a moment for Florida fans where you say, you know what? We're going to be okay with this Lagway kid. I think we're going to be all right. Next week, you rock Kentucky's world. Just beat the brakes off the dudes. Mojo. Play in Georgia. First half. We're all looking around like, yo, is Florida about to do this against Georgia? DJ Lagway just dropped a dime downfield to Aiden Mizell. DJ Lagway gets hurt. Georgia becomes Georgia later in that game. But again, I think there was a moment you point to, hey, when Lagway's in the game, we got some mojo. All right, then DJ Lagway, he's hurt, comes back for LSU, and you saw the confidence translate to a Florida team have a way against LSU where they got a dub. And the next week, they beat Ole Miss, got a dub, finished 4-0. All right, so my question is that part of what happened last year for Florida able to be replicated early on in the year and establish that confidence and momentum? That's one part of it. But also, are you able to just shift your identity from what last year was and carry it over to this upcoming season to start in September against the Miamis and the LSUs? Because the thing that I love so much about this Florida team is there's not going to be a lot of big eyes in the foxhole, man. Not going to be a lot of shaky hands when the chips are stacked. Why? Because they're top 20 in returning production in college football. They got good scars. There's a lot of guys that were there that missed a bowl game from a year ago. Only won a few games from a couple seasons ago. Like they've been here for the bad times. They've felt the fires of adversity. I think that serves you well, especially with how difficult Florida's schedule is. So for me, 3 to 4 feels like a lot. I don't even know if Florida will end up having that many teams on their schedule that end up being college football playoff contenders. I think it's fair to say right now. I would feel great saying Florida knocks out 2 of those teams. All right, whoever it ends up being. I think they probably knock out 2 teams at least from college football playoff contention. But here's the thing. If that's what happens for Florida, what's their record at the end of the year? Is Florida a 9-win team? If they are, they have a case to be a college football playoff team themselves. So we'll see how this whole thing unfolds. But the bottom line, you're not crazy. It's not just DJ Lagway. It's everything around him. It's the culture. It's the momentum. It's all those things. Can they recreate that to start? To have it rolling in October and November when they play a lot more of those teams that'll be college football playoff contenders.